Good morning friends. In an earlier video we have seen the culture of freshwater prawns, and in that topic we have started and we have finished the morphological or external characters of the prawn. Dear friends, I forgot one point about the structure of abdomen. So let us see within a couple of minutes only, in a few seconds only. Dear friends, the you know very well the body of the prawn is consisting of major two parts, that is known as cephalothorax and abdomen, and this cephalothorax is formed by the fusion of first 13 numbers of the segment, and the next part of the body is, that is the abdomen. Dear friends, the abdomen is consisting of 6 segments, and each segments are having a ring like structure covered with a shield, and that segments are, that is 6 segments are joined together with the help of a membranous structure, a membrane that is known as anthroidal membrane. So by this one point was remaining, I have finished that. So dear friends, today we are going to see the next bit of our that topic, that is the culture of marine water prawn, and the next bit is selection of site. Dear friends, for the culture of the fishes, for the culture of the prawns, culture site is also one of the important aspect. So in case of this prawn also, the culture site, site selection is also having importance. Dear friends, for culture of marine water prawns, the most suitable location is along with the tidal flat, near the marshy land, or nearby the bridge, nearby the creek, or near the brackish water estuaries. So we know very well when we say about the fish culture farms, fish culture ponds that are generally located to the cheap and easily available water resources, that is nearby the dams, nearby the reservoirs, or nearby the river. That means we can get there very easily the fresh water. Here also, in case of the prawn culture, the site should be near to the beach, near to the brackish water estuary, near to the creek, where easily available of the marine water is possible. That means whenever a marine water is there at that time, it is required for the culture. Therefore, the site must be near the beach, near the sea, particularly near the brackish water estuaries, and like that. So the site selection is having important role, because whatever the sea water is there, due to the tides, that will reach to the ponds, to the farm, to that culture site, and further it is utilized for the culture. So the site selection, that means generally the site for culture of the marine prawns, the most suitable location is along with the tidal flats, where a tidal water will reach. It may be to the adjacent to the brackish water estuary. Dear friends, the site which are proposed for the prawn culture, that side of it should be having the site of irregular shape and uneven bottom are not suitable for the culture. That means, as we know that in case of the fish ponds, we are just pitching the bottom of the pond, and we are just removing all the types of rocks and stones and plants. So we are making a very suitable and uniform type of the bottom. Here also, in case of the in case of this prawn culture, the irregular shape as well as the uneven bottom type of the ponds, type of the site is generally not useful, because it may obstruct for the efficiency of the netting. When there is netting, that uneven surface, uneven bottom, and whatever the plant materials is there, rocks are there, that will become an obstacle for the harvesting. Therefore, for the prawn culture, the bottom of that ponds, which is nearby the brackish water estuary, must have nearly the uniform surface and without the rocks and stones. The next point regarding the selection of the site is The main criteria of the site is that there should be a smaller range of variation between high and low tide water level. That means we know very well it is nearby the beach, nearby the estuary, and ultimately the phenomena of the high tide and low tide is there, and that water will reach us to the that particular ponds. Therefore, it has a very little type of the fluctuation in between the high tide as well as the low tide. That means that site will get very easily the marine water source, the marine water flow. Therefore, the main criteria of site is that there should be the smaller range of variation in between high and low tide water level. Besides that, at the same time, there should be the enough circulation of water through the neap tides. We have seen in a second year, we have seen at the time of seeing the estuaries and ecology of the sea. At that time we have seen there are different type of tides are there, and here neap tide is there, in which in a neap tide there is a very least water current is there. In a neap tide water current is very less water current is there. Therefore, at the same time there should be the enough water circulation throughout the pond with the help of neap tides. So the neap tide is essential. The plain bottom of the pond is essential. Irregular surface is avoided, as well as that site must be nearby to the you may call as the brackish water, or you may call as near the tidal flat is a suitable place for selection. Dear friends, topographically, you know very well the topography. Study of terrain, study of the feature of land is nothing but the topography. So that topography, topographically, that side must be elevated just about 1 to 3 meter above the mean sea level. That means from the sea level, that ponds, that site of culture prawns must be near about 1 to 3 meter above the mean sea level, or at least 1 meter above in highest high tide level to allow drainage and harvesting. That means you know very well in case of the fish ponds we are making the dikes as well as the bunds, we call as the freeboard is there. Similarly here also in this marine water prawn culture, here topographically you should have near about elevation near about 1 to 3 meter above the sea level, we call as MSL, mean sea level, and that can accommodate. Why it should be 1 to 3 meter in height above the sea level? Because it can accommodate, it can capture, it can contain, it can restore the tidal flow. Therefore, it must have such type of the location. Topographically, it has a better type of the site. Next point is that it should be near to the road lines, and it should be the square, it should be the rectangular. See here, I am giving the reference of the fish culture. Fish farms are generally located near to the water resources such as river, lakes, reservoir. In case of this prawn culture, it is near to the beach, it is near to the coastal line, it is should be near to the brackish water estuary. These two things are there. At the time of considering the you may call as the fish pond, we are choosing the place where there is a road lines. That means for transportation, road line must be there. Therefore, in this case also, in case of selection of the site for marine water prawn culture, that site must be well connected with the electricity, as well as it should be well connected with the good type of road lines for the purpose of easy transportation. Here, in terms of climatic conditions, what type of the atmosphere, what type of the climate is generally required for the prawn culture? Generally, we know very well. Generally, here the site must have near about, no doubt, not exactly the dry season. it should not be completely dry. It should be moderately dry. The area where the site of the culture is there, it should be moderately dry, and it should have the suitable moderate type of the rainfall throughout the year. That means two important climatic conditions are there. It should not be a completely dry atmosphere. A moderate atmosphere, or you may call as a little type of dryness may be there, but it should have a moderate type of rainfall throughout the year. So moderate rainfall is essential for that site, and that moderate type of rainfall is just have a favorable type of conditions for development of streams and prawns. When we see about the which type of the soil must be there, see here I am frequently giving the reference of the fish pond culture, fish ponds. How we are going to select the site of the fish pond, how we are just testing the soil, how we are testing the water for the fish culture. In the same way here also repeat the same condition. The location of the site also having the same manner, as well as the climatic conditions, as well as the location, and the soil type is also playing important role into the fish farming also, and into the prawn farming also. In case of the prawn farming, here the you may call as the loam based soil is found to be the suitable. That means clay or loam based soil containing more than near about 90% of the clay is suitable for the culture, and no doubt pH is also playing important role to maintain the health of that water pond, health of the site, health of the prawn ponds. Therefore pH must be near about 6.5 to 8.5. It is a good pH for further development and growth of the prawns, and with sandy or loamy soil should be avoided. See here the clay, I repeat again, clay or loam based soil is suitable, and you should avoid the sandy or silty soil for the culture of the prawn. So these are the some of the important points regarding the selection of the site for prawn culture. After selection of the site, we can see about the how the brooder should be collected. No doubt the mature brooders of prawns like the Pinus indicus, Pinus monodon, which are ripe, are collected from the seawater and transported to the culture site simply. See here we are bringing the brooders for the purpose of breeding, and after breeding you may call as the small larvae will form, and we have to culture that larvae. Therefore brooders should be selected, brooders should be collected from the main water resource, that is marine water. So and you know very well that for the purpose of breeding both male and female must be the mature. So the mature male and mature female prawns are get collected from the site, from the marine water, and transport to the our culture site. While transporting the brooders, you must have to take the care about the oxygen level, that is dissolved oxygen. So a suitable type of dissolved oxygen should be maintained, and if you found less type of the oxygen, you can also provide with the aerators. So the additional type of the oxygen can be added to the aerators while transporting the prawns from the sea to the culture site, and that can be transported, brooders can be transported into the container, as well as generally we use plastic bags, and that bags are filled with 1/3 of the seawater and 2/3 of the oxygenated fresh water. That means here it will require well oxygenated water. So when any type of organism are going to the transport, it must have the hyperactivity. It shows the, no doubt it shows the hyperactivity, and during the hyperactivity it just get a requirement of the more oxygen, extra oxygen. Therefore for the transportation of the prawns from capture to the culture site, you must be go through the proper level of dissolved oxygen into that container. It may be the plastic bag, and that water should be diluted with the fresh water, which is having higher dissolved percentage of the oxygen. Rather than this, after the distance is longer, distance is smaller, distance is less from the capture side of the brood horse to the culture side, there is no problem of the supply of oxygen, dissolved oxygen. But when the site is too long, the culture site is too long from the capture side, at that time you should be very cautious at the time of transportation. So ultimately you should have to provide a continuous type of the oxygen supply through the aerator into the container, and you should have to avoid the overcrowding during the transportation also. If the overcrowding is there, ultimately the brooders, not only brooders, the seeds of that prawns may die. Therefore you should take care about the stocking density during the transportation into the plastic bag as well as into the container. When the transportation, when the seeds of brooders are in a large number, you should have to use a larger container, and when brooders are smaller, you can also transport by the plastic bags. So therefore, and to avoid, I told that whenever there is a extraordinary movement, when there is a hyperactivity of the animal is there, prawns is there, ultimately it utilizes a maximum amount of the oxygen and it will get in need of the extra oxygen. Therefore, to avoid the hyperactivity, as a natural rule, the every captive animal which is captured will no doubt naturally try to escape away from that container, from that condition. The prawns will also try to get escape from that container. Therefore, to avoid such type of the hyperactivity, that prawns appendages should be tied with the help of the rubber band or any type of suitable thread. So to just restrict their movement, and if the movements are less, ultimately they will require a little oxygen, and you will not get suffer from the deficiency of the oxygen. Therefore, the prawn should be immobilized, we call as immobilized, by using the rubber band or by using a good type of a thread. That means we are just keeping them into the control condition. So ultimately it will require a little oxygen during the transportation. After transportation, after collection of the stock, when it reaches to the our culture site destination, that are released into the tank which is containing the fresh water. After transportation of the brooders, after transportation of the mature prawn, male and female, they have to just stock into the a little bit of the container which is having the fresh water. It should be you may call as acclimatized to that, slowly acclimatized to the new conditions. So after the collection of the stock has reached to the destination, the prawns are released into the tank containing simply the fresh water. After they have recovered and become active, now again they are transported to the bigger type of ponds where water size is more capacity is there, and large containers are generally used for the purpose of spawning. So the spawning is taking place into the container. Near about 250 liter capacity of the containers is required, and or you may call it the plastic pools containers are required for the purpose of spawning. You know very well the spawning of that prawns are taking place into the dark condition, calm and quiet water. That water should be calm and quiet, and it should have a dark. Therefore, the inner side of that container are painted with a black color. So black color is applied. Generally, the container must be of the circular type, a rounded type container. As we know that in case of at the time of transportation of the fish seeds, we also seen that transporting container must be of the round bottom, round in shape. Here also it should be have at the time of spawning, it should have a container which is having more than 250 liter of the capacity, and should have applied with the black color to create a calm and quiet type of atmosphere into that container for the purpose of spawning. You can also use the plastic pools, and that plastic pools should have such type of the dark color, black color to the inner side. So what will the probable ratio? I am giving again the reference of the freshwater fish culture. At the time of breeding, we are using the ratio that is 2:1. That means 2 are male and 1 is female in case of the fish culture. But in case of this prawn, for the purpose of spawning, we have to use the ratio 1:1. That means in near about 150 liter of the capacity container, we have to release one pair of the brooders, and one pair is consisting of the you may call as one male and one female prawn, and the mouth of that container is just closed, tied with the help of the cover to escape from the to prevent escaping from the jumping from that tank. So a round bottom tank, black color, inner side should be the black, and it should be have the spacious, more than 250 liter of the capacity of water should be there, fresh water should be there, and it is provided with the extra type of additional type of the oxygen with the help of aerator, and therefore that is standard condition for the meeting and spawning of that marine water prawn. Dear friends, this we see about the development, the fertilization and development. Here at the time of seeing the breeding, the time taken for the copulation varies from species to species. That means we know very well in case of the fishes, they make the pairing and courtship, and they just go through the spawning, egg laying. In the same way here also, it takes a time for copulation. According to the species, it takes near about the 3 to 4 minutes into the Pinus japonicus, while it takes near about 80 minutes into the Pinus monodon. So this Pinus monodon may have the copulation period near about the 80 minutes, while in case of the Pinus japonicus, it should have this copulation is just carried out within 3 to 4 minutes. Dear friends, here the spawning takes place only after the eggs are mature. No doubt, mature eggs are only shed down, and therefore spawning takes place only after the eggs are mature. That is, Pinus monodon will give near about 70,000 number of eggs, and within 3 to 4 minutes, simultaneously the male just releases spermatophores. It discharges spermatophores over the eggs, and the fertilization is occurring. The external type of fertilization is there. So the female will lay the eggs. Female prawn will lay the eggs. How many eggs? Near about 70,000 number of eggs can be released through the at one time can be released through the female, whereas male will just discharge the spermatophores over the eggs, and hence the fertilization is occur, and we simply call as there is an external type of fertilization. So the first eggs should settle to the bottom, and the larvae hatch about 8 to 10 hours. Hatching will take place, and after the hatching of the eggs, see here, egg laying is there. Female will give the eggs, male will give the spermatophores. Of fertilization take place, egg will fertilize and settle to the bottom, and incubation, or you may call as the hatching of that eggs take place within near about 8 to 9 hours, and the larvae will comes out. That larvae is known as the nauplius. So the nauplius larvae is the first stage after the fertilization. So what will comes out from the fertilized egg? Nauplius stage. See here, eggs are there. Eggs will goes under the hatching near about 8 to 9 hours. Within that 8 to 9 hours, the embryo will form, and that embryo will just get converted into the first very earliest stage of larvae, that is known as nauplius larva. So from the eggs, nauplius larva is taking place, and further the metamorphosis of that nauplius larva will take place, and finally adult will form. Dear friends, this period of metamorphosis is most crucial, and during that time you must have to take attention during the water quality as well as the chemical factors of the water and so on, and you should have monitor the water quality very careful, because whatever the stage is there, we call as simply the nauplius stage. It is very sensitive to the physicochemical properties of the water. Any type of change, any type of sudden change into that, even the pH, the temperature, the salinity, so it should be the maintained properly because it is a very sensitive stage. Dear friends, we shall stop here. We can continue into the next video. Thank you very much.